Day one of the World War II ration diet, and I'm starting off with some toast. Now this is the national bread that I made. However, the bread maker failed me because basically there's the little thing here, the metal thing in the bread maker turns around, and it got stuck in the bread, so it's obviously not that great. However, in the World War II times, they couldn't have wasted that. They would have had to have used it anyway. So I'm going to have to use it. I'm a bit nervous to see what the insides look like. So this is the Oslo meal. The Oslo meal comprises of 2 slices of cheese, the whole wheat bread, half an apple, half an orange, and a glass of milk. However, I'm going to have the glass of milk when I get home from uni because I don't have anything to transport it to uni. So I'm going to have my milk when I get home, but I can take the rest of it with me. So I don't run out of my margarine ration, I'm just going to put jam on my toast this morning. You could make it at home yourself, but I'm just using good old Tesco's. Breakfast number 1. The bread's actually okay. So I just got back from uni, and I have to say that lunch actually really was very good. And I'm about to have my milk, and I feel like the milk will tide me over until dinner because for some reason it's more sustainable. Like, it fills me up a bit more. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just in my head. So I'm just making my pudding for today, and this has barely any sugar in. I'm following a wartime Scottish shortbread recipe. So I'm right now making my wartime stew. Now I personally haven't done this before, but the recipe says to add Marmite, which I guess is for flavour. Interesting, very interesting. So dinner number 1, here she is. Wartime stew and green beans. It looks tiny, but it's not, I swear. Jessie, isn't it big?
It's big.
Let's do a taste test. This is the wartime stew with like no seasoning in. The thing is, they had big dinner portions so that it would keep them going throughout the day. So
harsh cold winter's night.
Yes, exactly. Should I tell you, this has got Marmite in. They used to use that to season it.
What would
it's okay.
No, you're like, I'm gonna get bored in the 3rd mouthful. I'm not gonna eat it. It's not nice, but eating the whole thing is hard work.
You know what? The more I eat it, the more I enjoy it. Genuinely. I'm getting like new flavours. The potatoes are cooked to perfection.
Kale, carrot,
cabbage, carrot, onion, potato,
hearty.
Meat. This just isn't going down. I've been eating for so long. Boshed it. I'm actually really full up. That was filling. That normally wouldn't fill me up. Do you know what I mean? Like if mum served you that, you'd be like, I'm gonna be hungry.
It was quite a big portion though.
Everyone, we're gonna do the shortbread test. Here's the thought of a cheese twist. Just some shortbread. It's okay. It's sweeter than I thought it would be. This is the shortbread, by the way. And I'm having it with the hot water because tea was also on ration. Did you know? Hello, so day 2. But today I just had the same toast and a cheese and pickle sandwich because they would have had pickle because they would have been using that. It would have been homemade, as they would have been using up vegetables. That's what I researched. Well, actually, that's what mum told me. Today's dinner is looking a little bit funky, not so fresh. But I'm just going to show you. This is the first part. Lord Walton's pie. I don't know if it's something in the bread, or like if it's a different type of ratio of everything, but the bread is keeping me much fuller for much longer. It says that they used to have it with gravy and veg, so I'm gonna cook some gravy and veg. Yeah, I do. I love gravy.
Only they would not have used gravy granules, just saying.
Stock.
They wouldn't have even had a stock cube.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have made flavourless gravy, probably with, I don't know, bovril? They might have bovril, not sure.
Bovril's alright.
Gravy browning.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
So Today I'll have to have normal gravy because I didn't think that far ahead.
Instant gravy was not a thing.
I can always just spit
Back in the wall.
How long? So I was looking at pudding recipes and I found a recipe for a steamed chocolate cake. And yeah, which sounded really good. I was like, oh, I can whip that up when I get home. But you physically have to steam it like a Christmas pudding, where you put it in a pan. Because there's no microwave. I thought it meant like a microwave steamed pudding. Obviously there were no microwaves. Pudding, which is really dumb because they didn't even have fridges, did they?
They didn't have sugar.
Pantries.
Yeah, they had sugar beet.
Yeah, and they had the tiniest amount of sugar.
Beat it. So here is dinner today. This is the pie, but it is falling apart. I'm gonna pour my gravy on. I love gravy. I think it's gonna be quite bland because the recipe literally only had parsley in it and salt and pepper. But I've got to follow the recipe because it's Lord Walton.
Mustard?
Nope, not even mustard. Let's try the pastry because
Pot.
yeah?
Spicy pot.
Yeah?
Tomatoes for you. They might have tomatoes in the water.
That pastry is rubbish. Oh.
How long are you doing this war thing for?
This is my second. It was not enjoyable. Hello beautiful humans. Today is another day. It's day 3 of the wartime diet. And I am making pancakes this morning. But these are obviously wartime pancakes. Typically had with golden syrup. So
They even had golden syrup around in the war?
well, this is what the research I'm saying. I'm looking at
research is not good.
To bear in mind, obviously I was getting research from loads of different places and some of the research was conflicting, which Mum was obviously addressing the point of, so just please bear that in mind. I wasn't around in the war, so I don't fully know everything, and I had just had to trust that the research I was doing was valid. So I'm sorry if anything that I had or whatever wasn't in the rations, but I did my best.
It says they had it with golden syrup as a treat. Mum is trying to out me. And the reason they are wartime is because they have no eggs in them, because obviously you only had 1 egg for a week for a ration, so it's just milk and flour. So these are the pancakes. They're very thick, like dense. I've got my golden syrup here. Really not that bad. Pancakes are in my belly. They were actually really good. I did not mind the texture at all. I'm now making carrot cookies, which are looking very interesting. It's basically carrot and flour with like the tiniest bit of butter and sugar. Yum! Delicious! Actually, they don't look too bad. I'm just gonna try a little bit of this carrot cookie. You know what? That is really not that bad. Hello everyone. So for lunch today, I've actually made lunch for today and lunch for tomorrow. I'm gonna give you a little peek. It looks really peculiar, but these are called piglets in potatoes. Basically, you core the middle of the potato out and you stuff sausage meat in there. And I had some leftover sausage meat, which obviously they wouldn't have had in the war, but I couldn't throw away the sausage meat. It just made no sense. So I've used these like, I used the core and wrapped it in sausage meat to use both up. I mean, I totally get why they put the sausage meat in the potato to make it like stretch further, because it's literally, look how much sausage it is to 1 jagged potato. Oh, she's foggy. So I'm currently at work and I am very hungry. I think that bread fills me up more than the potatoes did. So hungry. I even had 2 of the carrot cookies. Hello children. So I'm actually not gonna lie. Today is day 4. I only have 1 more day of this, and yesterday I just had leftovers. I'm actually not bored of that bread yet. I really like that bread, which I know I probably shouldn't because everyone, I don't know, it's just really filling and it's not that bad when it's toasted. I finished my carrot cookies, so I need to work out how much sugar I have left for tomorrow and today, because I need to have pudding today and pudding tomorrow, so I don't really know how much sugar I have left. Another thing is that today I was at a competition, so they actually provided lunch, so I wasn't going to be rude and like bring my own lunch because that would just be a bit weird. So
please bear in mind that I did actually not have World War II rations today. So that was kind of like, well, it wasn't a slip up because I just knew that I wasn't gonna sit there tucking into my cheese and pickle sandwich. Can't have any more cheese because my cheese rations ran out. For dinner I have made, I think it was like a leek and potato soup. Thing is, I prefer a leek and potato soup that is blended, but I've used up the cabbage as well because, you know, got to be using everything up. So I'm just trying to like mash the potatoes. Okay, I've only got this much bread left and I need that for breakfast tomorrow. I might try and make the Bircher, the World War II Bircher muesli thing that they had, but I just hate porridge and things like that. They would have obviously had porridge a lot of the time made with water, so they didn't have to use their milk, but I can't physically stomach porridge. There is something about it and I cannot eat it. I wish I liked it, but I can't. Dinner is served. Here we have the pearl barley potato soup and the last margarine, which I'm really gonna treasure this. I'm gonna eat this now. Let's just say this is very, very bland. The bread is doing it a lot of favors. Okay, so I don't know if I worked this out wrong, but this was my plan for the week. Obviously I didn't follow Monday, Tuesday, whatever. And I've written how much of each ration I've used on the side. And it's only come out that I've only used 35 grams of sugar, which means I could have made a proper pudding for tonight, but now I can't be bothered. Oh, but I have no margarine, but I do have some lard left. But I'm gonna try this fairy toast, which is where I had stale toast and they would have it with, they would toast it and then sprinkle sugar on top as the pudding. This looks so weird. This is 7 grams, or was it 9 grams of sugar, which I don't think I'm gonna use it all. I guess you just sprinkle on. I might be doing it really weird. I might be doing it really wrong and everyone's gonna be like, that's not how they did it. This looks so weird. Okay. Here goes nothing. What? I'm not gonna lie, that was a weird experience. I've got lots of sugar left, which obviously they would have saved. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, it was just weird. My camera is charging, so I'm currently on my phone, but I have saved the best until the last day. My one egg. I didn't want to use this at the start of the week because I was like, I know that that egg is going to come in very handy towards the end. So they had this thing called egg in a nest where you cut out the middle of your bread and you put the egg in the middle of the bread, which is kind of just like having an egg, if you know what I mean. So alternatively, I have seen that they had eggy bread and I am really craving some eggy bread. So I'm going to make some eggy bread. No more marge left. No more lots of things basically, but we do have a tiny bit of lard to fry the eggy bread in. I've added milk. I actually have a lot of my milk left, and I'm going to cut up the last of the bread, which is right here, and fry that in the lard. Goodbye lard. Here is the eggy bread. Normally I would have done it with 2 eggs, but you got to work with what you got to work with. Technically I would have run out too early on the bread because I still would have had Saturday and Sunday to go. So there's that. So I had my delicious chips. I was supposed to get fish and chips because fish and chips weren't rationed, but the fish and chip shop wasn't open. So I just got chips and a salad, which they would have had. And now she's gonna be herself. And now I'm having this. It's my first time trying it. Like an after 8 without the mint.
Is it minty?
No, without the mint. Here is the last ration meal. I'm having the last meal. I'm having leftovers from yesterday.
No, Dad didn't even try. Are you filming yourself eating that?
I feel like Shane Dawson with it. So I'm actually, this is the second bowl of the leek pearl barley broth thing, and it actually is better since yesterday. I think the flavours have matured a bit, but this is the last thing of the World War II ration diet.
Dun dun dun.
I'm going to do the debrief recap tomorrow, which will be like 1 second for you. So, Firstly, I am amazed at how easy it is to use things up when you're in the mindset of using things up. I think it is so easy to just like throw things away and be like really willy-nilly about it, but they literally had to use everything they could and be so thrifty, and it's a lot easier than you think. Really resourceful with what you have. Secondly, they didn't snack at all. There were no crisps around, which I won't lie, did struggle a little bit with not having crisps, but because the portions were so big, they keep you feeling much more fueled and ready for the day. So I think I am going to take that on, because I just snack 24/7, but I was able to not snack, so that was another thing. Third thing is working with what you got. There is always something in your cupboards. You know when you go to the cupboards and you're like, Mum, there's nothing in here. There is always something, even if it is just rice. Cook some rice. It literally would take 15 minutes. It's going to fuel you up for longer. The reason I find it fascinating is because that was the healthiest that the UK has ever been. It was when non-communicable diseases were at their lowest, so things like diabetes, things like that. So clearly the healthy diet had a part to play with it. So it's so fascinating. There is so much more to learn. I didn't even skim the surface with this video. I didn't even touch on it, and I'm sorry if I did anything wrong. Please don't come for me, please don't hate me. I'm just a girl having fun making YouTube videos, so don't come for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, then you know what to do. And if you have any other requests for any videos, then please put them in the comments below. Anything that you've learned, anything that you're interested in, let me know down below.